Did you cry on that scene, Nicole?
Did I cry on the I love you kiss scene and the girl? Hi,
Well, hi, Nicole. Welcome
Tyra.
back to another top five.
I'm glad you're here.
We're talking about the top five kisses of Shane and
Mhm.
Ilya. And I don't think we really have like a benchmark of how we did this list. I think
No.
me personally, I was just like, does it look good? Does it look hot? And what did it make me feel when I first watched it? Did I like clutch my pearls a little bit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
clutch
yeah.
your little pearls.
Clutch
you
my little
know?
pearls a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and be envious that nobody was kissing me like that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
all
yeah,
of those things.
I'm sorry.
Depending on your mood and the time of the week and what you're rewatching, your best kiss could be X, and then you can wake up the next day and it could be
Yeah,
Y. And that's exactly what happened when we created this list. It was like I had a very strong thought about what the kisses should be or what my number one should be, and then we
yeah,
talked, and then it was like, wait, I don't know, Tyra, I
yeah,
think that's
yeah.
what should be.
Which guys literally happened this week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We should get into our top five of the best kisses of Shane and Ilya, according to Nicole and Tyra. So Tyra
Absolutely.
is going to kick us off with the number five on our list, our best kiss. Tyra, what is it?
And you know what, guys? This number five kiss, to be honest, I think a lot of the fandom might have this at number one or two, to be honest. This was a
Yeah, I
kiss
agree. I
that
agree.
on the socials circulated heavy. And I'm not mad at y'all because
Wait,
I
still,
too
still,
well, I mean, every kiss at this point they're circulating, but yeah, it was circulated
yeah.
on the socials a lot. So this kiss at the number five spot is going to be the kiss in the stairwell between Ilya and Shane.
Hey, remember when I made you come hands-free?
Go fuck yourself, Rosna.
Such a good trick.
Your cab is definitely here.
You know, right after that fabulous night of passion where Shane got his back blown all the way out, you know, and then and then walked Ilya to the door, walked him downstairs, clutching Ilya's jacket, mind you, guys. Like that man was sprung. I've never seen a more sprung man in my entire life. And it's this sweet, soft kiss that Ilya gives Shane right before he leaves and says bye. That kiss was so good, guys, that Connor completely lost that Russian accent. That Russian accent was gone. He's like, bye. I'm like, that sounds like Connor.
Bye.
Bye.
That is Texas.
Bye.
That's how much we are locked into filming these scenes together. And I think this kiss, like along with that scene coupled together, is just true intimacy, right? We are feeling some things under the surface that in those previous other hookups that maybe we quite didn't feel or quite didn't see. But it's also the lingering of the kiss. Like you don't want to leave. You want to stay. I think Ilya and Shane would both love nothing more than to spend the night and like stay with each other the entire night and see where things go. If this was a normal circumstance, right? And they were two normal people meeting. But we know they're in the heightened world of hockey and they're rivals. And so something that would seemingly be very simple, you know, you hook up with someone that you like and you continue this relationship is something that they can't do and they can't even, you know, think of. But this kiss is like a little bit of hope within that, but like where can we really go with it? But it's so sweet and it's so soft. And their little faces together, it just feels like a kiss where both of them just really want to say stay and be here. And it's filmed beautifully, it's lit beautifully. Thank you, Jackson. And I just love it. But I do think that it could be number one or two for a lot of you guys. So I am interested to hear what you guys will think about us putting it at number five. Nicole, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. I mean, first of all, So much to say. I think I remember an interview, an article or something of Jacob saying that they watched this scene back and then they were like, oh, is this kiss too intimate? Should we include this? And I think Jacob used his best intuition. Thank you, Jacob. That was like, no, we have to include this. And yeah, of course it was incredibly soft, incredibly intimate, incredibly just like, are they a couple? Are they in love? Or do they like what is this? But I think as an audience member, after seeing Shane and Ilya wait 2 years, which is longer than the book had us wait, right? For them to become intimate and have penetrative sex. We needed a moment like this to remember that this was a big deal for both of their characters and a big deal for this moment in their lives. And also that this was also a tender moment. Like, yes, Ilya, we can probably candidly say, right, that he had more experience sexually than Shane at this point. But that this moment equally meant a lot for both of them. And I just love the fact that we got this sweet moment in the staircase where like Shane is like gripping Ilya's jacket and he has his like Abercrombie like blue hood up and he's just so satisfied
Blissed
and just like
out.
blissed out and watching his man tie his shoes so slowly. And they're talking about, like, I think the thing that is so lovely, like, obviously there's so much to love about Shane and Ilya, but in this moment, what I loved is that, and especially in episode 2, that I loved about them is that you were able to connect and understand why they loved each other, or at least there was an attraction, on a level of them being just so good at hockey, right? Because in the staircase scene here, they're talking about the Olympics and talking about their parents and talking about their support and like how excited they are and like what they're expecting to happen and all of these things. And it's like, what connects them is outside of just like love and attraction and lust and like the physicality of it. It's just like, who else other than the two of them, particularly at this moment, are able to talk about like, hey, we're at the top of our game. You lead Russia, I lead Canada, and like our parents are excited. And it's just like there's this connection that they have and this intimacy that they have on a hockey level that really they don't realize it now at this point because they're so young, but when they're older-ish, it's like they will understand that like their connection means more, and there's just like an understanding there that they can't have with other people. And in the staircase, at least for me, that kiss is so intimate because it's like they just experienced this intimate moment. At least from a professional standpoint, they're about to enter another physical or intimate moment, right, within hockey, and like them being competitors within the Olympics. And so I don't know, like,
and to your point, you know, they do have a connection and they do speak each other's language, and they have more of a connection because of their shared history, and also they are both two superstars who are very young in the same similar position, which makes it even more heartbreaking why they can't be together, right? Which is the crux of like episode 4 and till we get to 5 and 6. It's really sad, you know, that scene with Shane and Ilya in Russia in the rafters, and Shane like going back to that last moment that they spent together, which was so sweet and so soft, but Ilya feeling like, especially being in Russia, he has to mask who he is and what he wants. And then leaving sort of Shane out there on an island alone with these feelings. And that connection being severed, this connection that they felt for each other since they first met each other outside of the junior championship, whatever it's called, in Saskatchewan. And you know, that kiss is also interesting because it comes on the heels of Ilya running for the hills after a forehead kiss from Shane. And like, that felt a bit too intimate, right? That felt a bit too intimate for him. He was already feeling feelings, but still, the through line of Ilya is like the mask will always slip when it comes to Shane. He can only hold it for so long.
Hello.
And that moment on the stairwell, it's like, just give me one more because I may not ever have this moment again. And I think that's something that's always constantly running through Ilya's mind. Even when we get to Long Game, to be honest, and they're actually a couple. It's like,
spoiler
I have this,
yeah.
I have this thing, and it might not, you know, be something that's everlasting or something I can hold on to.
Yeah.
So we love that kiss. We do. But I just can't wait for your guys' comments about what you think about us putting that number 5.
And I cannot wait for my mom and my dad to ship me that Abercrombie sweatshirt that's been at their house for weeks.
Wait a minute. Do you
Mom
have
and Dad.
Do you have one?
I shipped it to my mom and dad's house weeks ago. And the thing is, they were supposed to come visit me in Europe. But because of, you know, that orange man, they've canceled it. And so they have it. So I don't know when I'm going to get it. But anyway, iconic.
She's going to wear it on one of the pods.
Yeah.
It might be in summertime when it's 80-degree weather, but you're still going to wear it.
Hopefully. Lord willing, right?
Okay, let's get to number 4, Nicole. What's number 4 on our illustrious kiss list?
Okay. Number 4 is the first kiss between Shane and Ilya. This has to be the first kiss that I have just like held my breath watching in a way that I was just like, these two people need to end up together now.
Right now. And like anybody who says
expeditiously.
Otherwise. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this was on purpose, but I loved the fact that they had Ilya almost acting as if he was like a predator, right?
Yeah.
Trying to get his prey. Like he circled around the room and then he's looking at Shane and he's like, no, I don't want to talk actually.
He also we didn't come here to talk, Shane. I love you.
Yeah.
Love you. Didn't come
that
here to like sit down and have a drink.
That wasn't the thing.
No.
But also the thing that I love about Ilya is like he made that clear, like, yes, like, no, I'm not really here to do that.
Do you want to sit? Not really.
The direction that I really love that Jacob Tierney took is that most rom-coms or romantic scenes or first kisses that I see, there's this blown out dramatic moment or song, and all I could hear are clothes movement and kisses. And I love that Jacob gave us that, where it was like, I felt like I was there in the hotel watching them, and I'm like, oh my God.
Shouldn't be watching this. But also, I'm going to watch. I'm also going to watch.
Also, I'm here. So.
I'm here. We're all here together. There's so many good things that happen in this scene. Probably my number one, even before the kiss, is Ilya grabbing Shane's chin. There's passion behind that kiss, but it's a quiet passion. It's a simmer, right? It's like, you know, a preview of what's to come or what could be from this relationship.
Good night.
Night.
Okay. So Tyra, what is our number 3, girl?
Girl, we're moving on up this list. I tell you. So number 3, you guys. When I saw this kiss, first of all, I had a whole scenario surrounding it.
Yeah.
I had a whole scenario surrounding it about what that kiss would mean to me if I was Shane. Okay. And the kiss I'm talking about is the kiss in episode 4 when Shane and Ilya are in bed after Shane was riding it like a cowgirl. Okay. You know, I learned a thing or two just from that scene alone. Thank you, Hudson Williams. And, you know, yes. And so Ilya is, you know, asking Shane to spend the night, and, you know, who cares what fucking Hayden thinks? You know, he's not your mother.
Because who cares?
Because who cares? And Shane acquiesces. But before he does, Ilya kisses him so softly. It's a millisecond. It's one of their shortest kisses that we have on the list. But what really seals it is that within that kiss, he is whispering "stay" into that man's mouth.
Stay.
Okay.
Okay.
It's so sweet. It has echoes of the hallway kiss, right? Where it's very sweet and very soft. But this is the first time that Ilya is accepting this intimacy and doing something about it, right?
Yeah.
Me and Nicole talked about this. We don't know where the shift happened, where, you know, he decided once and for all, I'm going to stop playing and pretend and actually try to make something happen with Shane, something real and concrete.
Yeah.
But he planned this thing for absolute weeks, you guys. He had to have. And just, you know, the courage that it took for him to ask Shane that and to be vulnerable in that way when that's not a position that he's comfortable in, with something that he actively tries to hide and actively tries to run from. But the kiss, just like from a physical standpoint, is just so sweet. It's so soft. The way that Ilya is looking at him, the way that Hudson and Connor are acting within that moment, you can kind of see everything that's happening on their faces. Shane has trepidation on his face, but also he, like Nicole always says, is where he wants to be. He wants nothing more than to be in that moment with Ilya. And Ilya is just like, I finally am not running away from this feeling that I have for this person. Mm-hmm. And I want to spend as much time with him as I possibly can. And so asking Shane to stay and asking him in that way, we all knew Shane's ass was going to fold. Nicole, what are your thoughts? Sorry.
I feel like we just watched the Super Bowl and you were like, that person won. So what do you think?
Period.
I think no, I think for me, like, the thing that I love about that scene is that you can just tell, to your point, this is a surprise for Shane. Like, what are we talking about? Because even when Shane on the show says, like, I think, you know, I should go, he still looks at Ilya for, like, validation on, like, is that true? Or, like, should I go? And Ilya, at that point, had already kissed his arm and his shoulder. And so Ilya looks at him and is like, or maybe you can say. And that is something that Shane is not used to. He's just like, what do you mean say? And, like, Ilya obviously tries to mask it with, like, I'm not done with you or whatever. And we don't have, like, afternoon practice. But I think, like, the thing that makes that so intimate, and I think you talked about this, is that this is the first time in the book and the show where they are face-to-face. Whenever they're being, you know, intimate sexually, it's very much not like we're looking at each other as Ilya and Shane, or Shane and Ilya. And this was the first time that we as viewers, and then at least what we're assuming as Ilya and Shane, that they're looking at each other as, like, the people that we see them as every day. And so it's interesting because I think, again, because they are the worst communicators of all time towards each other, that,
and
like,
never gets better.
Shane, no, and it never gets better, but, like, Shane is sitting there and he's just like, okay, this man is making me food and he wants me to spend the night, and he's now telling me about a girl that he's childhood friends with that also loves hockey and has a dad who is a legend in hockey. And obviously we know the goodwill that, or the reason why Ilya is saying all this, right? Like, Ilya's not trying to rile Shane up. He's just, like, trying to get something out of Shane. And then also, from Shane's point of view, it's like, this is my worst nightmare, that, like, Ilya is being this close to me and I would love this, but, like, I think if I tell him I love this could ruin everything. And so it's just like an intimate moment where, at least for me, when Ilya is kissing into Shane's mouth and is like whispering, like, and begging, stay,
Yeah.
that we're able to appreciate and understand their intimacy in a way that doesn't involve all of that, where it's like, yes, I know it's gonna blow up in our faces in 15-20 minutes. Yes, I know that, like, Shane and the Ilya of it all hasn't been explained, and like we know it's more than what it is now, but in this very moment, Ilya, they had just had a very like new intimate experience. Ilya's asking him to stay, and then Shane's kind of questioning it, and then Ilya's like,
Rightfully
in
fucking
his
so.
yeah, rightfully
Rightfully
fucking so.
so.
And then Ilya's whispering in his mouth, like, please, can you stay? It's like, okay, well, as a viewer, I actually want to see this dynamic and I want to see how this plays out. And, like, I understand from both points of view why this, I guess, moment's happening. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And such a good parallel, right, from the previous, their first time having penetrative sex, and how Ilya chased Shane for over 2 years.
Which
Two.
is crazy. Crazy.
The level of persistence is out of hand.
Love that. Love that for him.
Love it. And also that same level of like persistence and begging to a degree, like trying to make this moment last, which is so beautiful. And Shane's confusion is warranted after the previous years of Ilya being hot and cold. Like, I mean,
it's crazy.
What are you talking about that you actually want me to stay? Which I do find interesting, because Ilya could have texted him to prepare Shane. He knows Shane is someone who needs preparation. He could have texted him and say, well, why don't you stay over the night? But he knows that, you know, initially Shane would probably never even show up if that was the case.
He knows he would not show up.
Yeah, he has to get Shane in a room. He has to see him face to face, because that tangible physical connection is the thing that Shane realizes, and it's going to be the thing that pushes Shane. That's why anytime Ilya mentions a girl and they're in the same, you know, place together, it's that like pushes Shane. It gets a rise out of Shane. You know, Ilya has tried for 2 years in texting to get Shane to, you know, give him the cookie, and we still don't even know why Shane, you know, finally acquiesces on that day. Which I would love to ask Jacob about. Jacob, why was it that text in that day? But yeah, it's just a great kiss. It's a great moment, and it'll lead to tuna meltdown, which we love. So
Period.
What's the next one, Nicole? Let's roll on into the number 2
I think this is you, Tyra. No, is it me?
It's you, girl. Yeah, it's you.
Oh my God, it's y'all. I'm sitting here as a spectator. I'm like,
she really is. So she's like,
what's the next kiss? And then I'm like, oh,
we are back, girl. We back to voice chat days. She was like, what we doing now? What we talking about now?
I'm a co-host. Okay, got it. Okay, y'all. Okay, so wait. This kiss, because this kiss is so annoying and also amazing. It is the bathroom kiss in Vegas.
One of my favorites. Literally, holy grail.
And if you win?
Good luck tonight.
I am obsessed with the dynamic in that bathroom scene. I remember watching this show for the first time, and I was just like, who are these people and what is this? And also just like, I could tell from that moment, these two people cannot be away from each other at all. And I think that kiss in itself, right? Because Ilya is, I mean, we know now from Rachel Reed's blog post about this that like he was struggling as much as Shane was. But when you're watching the show, you don't know that. And so I remember watching the show and Ilya entering that bathroom and him doing that little chuckle and me being like, who is this man? I actually needed to get away from me. I don't
Let's
like
fight.
this.
Let's fight.
Bro.
I actually think this man is a menace. And then when I read the POV from Rachel, and then obviously the scene kept going, you saw one, how hurt he felt, and just like how much, like the torment he had been feeling, the same way that Shane had. And then also, I think at the same time, what people fail to realize when they try to victimize Shane in the situation is like, Shane is exactly where he wants to be. Like, once Ilya, in a way, I think, I think Jacob Tierney talked about this recently, where he was like, Shane loves having sex with Ilya because Ilya tells him what to do and takes control of the situation. And I think this Vegas scene is a real example of that, where Ilya does that stupid laugh that he does, where he's just like, well, and then Shane is just like, well, what? Like, you've done this and that, and like, what the fuck do you want from me? And I think Ilya grabs hold to the fact that, like, I've hurt him, this isn't funny, and then, like, really tries to, like, get control over the situation that makes Shane feel safe, right?
Yeah, he tries to reset.
And I think whereas, like, me as Nicole in this bathroom scene, I would be like, no, I'm done with this. This isn't a thing. But then I have to put myself in Shane's situation, and it's like, and I think Hudson talked about this, where it was like a lot of situations wouldn't have gone on because they would have, like, given up on Ilya and their relationship or whatever, but, like, Shane isn't like that. And I do feel like this was a good example of that, where Ilya felt like, okay, me dominating this moment and this scene is going to help Shane, and I'm going to, like, tell him what to do and tell him what to expect and, like, tell him how I feel in a way that is comfortable for me and him. And when people feel upset about that, I guess, now, I don't get, because you can tell that Shane loves it.
Yeah, he does. It's the lack of, like, transparency and clarity that Shane doesn't love.
Yep.
And Ilya, there's a theme with the kisses I love, and which is Ilya, who is someone who grew up in a certain environment where he had to mask his feelings and mask, his thoughts, and it's survival mode for him. But when he's around Shane, the mask always has to slip. Like, he has no control over containing the feelings that he feels for this person, which is why I love this kiss. Yeah. Because this conversation is frustrating. There's no clarity about what this relationship is. There's no clarity about where it's going. We're just kind of talking around the actual situation. And Shane, like, Ilya is, exerting that control over Shane, that sexual control, but we're not really touching what the emotional, beats are for the two of them until we get to the kiss. Because he tries to keep a mask of dominance and he can no longer keep it. He just is so filled with the emotion that he feels for Shane that he has to kiss him, which is something that Rachel highlights in Ilya's POV that she wrote on her blog. And it's one of the things I love when you are a character who has, done what you've done for your entirety of your life at this point in time. They're still in their 20s too, which I think is not something that people give them grace or credit for. What the hell were you doing in your 20s? Like, saying and doing these dumbest shit, right?
Girl. Too much.
Right. And so, Ilya is working on survival mode. But survival mode and doing what he thinks is expected of him and trying to keep a mask of indifference instantly crumbles when he's around Shane, especially when Shane is standing in front of him with eyes glistening, looking at him the way he's looking at him, and he knows that he's hurt him. He knows that you have ignored this person for 6 months, the person who you want to talk to the most. And, you're just thinking about how to survive in that moment, but you kind of can't think about that anymore. And that kiss is just so filled with passion and so filled of everything that they can't say to each other, which I love. And to your point, I agree. Shane is the emotional, crux of their relationship. Yep. He's always where he wants to be because he understands that Ilya says things out of survival mode. Like I talked about earlier, him on those rafters. Shane is like, I just want to know if you're okay because you don't seem okay. Yeah. And even when Ilya is like being mean to him and saying the craziest shit, Shane was like, but are you okay? And in the book, it says like Shane just feels sad for him, like empathy for him.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that's why I love that kiss. That's the theme of all the kisses that I like really love, is that lack of control that Ilya, shows. He's so controlled and cool in every other place. On the ice, he's Mr. Fun. He always has a quip. He always has this and that. But like when it comes to Shane, all bets are off.
So being boring is genetic.
Genetic.
Should we get to number one?
I don't know. Should we? No, I'm kidding.
I think we should.
Okay.
I think we should.
My number one. Here's the thing, y'all.
Number one's
this scene has, I think, ruined a lot of just what this scene could look like in other shows. It's very hard for me to watch rom-coms or romantic TV shows or movies, knowing that this scene exists, and it pisses me off a little bit. But the number one scene, no, seriously, the number one scene on our list of best kisses of Shane and Ilya, and I think of just me and Tyra in general, this scene does so much, is the kiss during the I love you moment. And I'm going to pause so we can insert a clip. Bam.
I love you.
Does it fucking kill you too?
What to know more?
You got all your life from that clip, didn't you? You should.
So here's the thing. I'm telling you right now, okay, so I saw this maybe on Threads or Twitter, and I agreed with it. But someone said the thing that's so good about Heated Rivalry, amongst every other thing, obviously, is that they linger on the reactors' video.
They do.
And so during this scene particularly, right, where Shane's going through this entire 10, 15-year plan of what it means for them to be together and for Shane or Ilya to, move
no
to
sleep.
Canada. Yeah, no sleep, And during these little moments where he's explaining it, or where we're trying to understand where this scene is going next, Jacob is really taking a chance on showing us the view from the reactor, which I thought was so interesting about this I love you scene, is that Shane is going on and on about the charity and about citizenship and about rivalry and all these things, and then near the end where it's becoming very real for Ilya before the kiss, it's only on Ilya's face where he's like, you really think this far ahead, Hollander, and is that what you want, to be together? And then even when Shane says, so much it scares me. You don't see Shane saying that. You see Ilya's reaction to that. And I think what makes this kiss so special is that you see that build up before, Ilya decides, like, I want to tell this man I love him in Russian, and then obviously finally in English, and then I'm kissing him. And I think that's what brings this scene and then the last decade of their situation together is that I think Ilya had no idea that, like, when I go to sleep tonight after telling Shane that, like, no, I don't ever want you to go away, which is why I'm willing to marry my best friend and get citizenship, is like, I want you to always be here, and I want to obviously, like, romantically still be together, but I don't see a way for that to happen, and I'm not going to ask the Shane Hollander to, like, give up everything to be with me. So this is what the answer is. And then for this to be 5 hours later, whatever it is, for Shane to be like, hey, I've decided this whole plan. And, like, yeah, of course I've thought this far along, because I only think that far along when it comes to you. And, like, I want to be together with you, and it scares me so much.
Yeah.
It's just, like, an overwhelming feeling. So you get this beautiful kiss scene that is just, like, unreal.
It's so good. First, the kiss over the heart. Actually, when he rolls over after he asks Shane, "Is this what you want?" It's so good, and just signifies how much Ilya feels for Shane and how much he's always felt for Shane. Yeah. And at that moment, like, coming to that cottage for him meant that I will be for you, Shane, whatever you want me to be. If that doesn't mean, like, something long term and it's only for a year or two, I will take it. I will take whatever I can get. And then when Shane gives him this gift of this idea of, like, I just want to spend forever with you, and I've figured out how to do it. I've included you in all my plans. When's the last time that anyone in Ilya's family has included them in their plans in their life? And this person who he not only loves, but reveres and admires and looks up to, loves him. And, once again, the emotions have to come out because you can't contain them any longer. And he kisses him on his heart. And then he kisses all over his face. And it's like that reverence. Like, he loves this man, every single part of him. And we get the I love you, and we get the soft kiss of them kissing together with both of their tears intermingled within the kiss. Girl, so when I tell you, I can't do with that. Well, you have to, because when I saw, like, Shane's tear, I didn't really get to see Shane's tears until I saw, like, a lightened version of the scene, because, girl, they love darkness. There was a lightened version of the scene, and you can see the tears coming down his eyes, and Ilya is already crying at this point. And that so soft
sweet. It's
kiss,
so sweet.
The kiss and the tears, like, they have only ever been able to cry separately, and now they get to, like, share this moment together. They get to share their vulnerability together, their intimacy, their love.
I know.
And my God, after Shane says to him, I love you too.
It's so sweet.
And then we get in the show, does it fucking kill you too, but we get in the book, does it feel like agony?
Yeah, opposite.
And he says not anymore. And I love that. Like, they are finally at the place that, we have been waiting for as viewers for them to get to all season. And this is what it felt like. I'm like, my God, Jacob, what you did in 6 episodes, shows can't do in 10, 12 episodes. Like, the story that he wove and how it unfolded was so beautiful. The parallels and the duality of both these characters were so thought out. And kudos to Rachel, because she wrote the book. She's the source material. And Jacob just, the way he formatted it for screen and was so careful with that source material, because he took it serious and he loved it. He loved those books. And then you get beautiful scenes like that are framed beautifully. And it had to be number one, right? Like, what else could be number one besides the moment when we get that release of feelings from both of them in the cottage? Like, this is kissing into a new territory at this point.
Yeah, I know that scene had to be number one. And I
Yeah.
think like it was the difference between reading it and then like knowing like, okay, this is gonna be a big moment when I watch it, and then when I watched it and I was just like
Blown away.
I didn't know what to say, and it was just like,
Did you cry on that scene, Nicole?
did I cry on the I love you kiss scene and the girl?
I just want to know I just want to know the cry count. I'm gonna put a cry count on Nicole the scene she's cried at. Girl, we gonna put Nicole. We gonna give Nicole a cry count.
Here's the thing. I don't consider myself a crier, but then when I think about it, I probably am. But this scene, I was like in tears, and I still cry to it because I think it was just a moment where I'm a huge fan of love languages, and I love knowing what other people's love languages are, and I think with Shane and Ilya, you can just tell their love languages in these scenes, right? Because Shane he's not staying up all night to be like, I need to show Ilya how much I love him.
No.
He's just like, wait, Ilya presented this problem to me on the couch, and I'm going to solve it. And he stayed up all night to figure it out, and then he's like, hey, Ilya, hello, wake up, wake up.
Couldn't contain himself.
I have something to tell you. Yeah, and so, like, obviously, like, Shane's love language is, like, he physically and just emotionally and mentally shows you how devoted he is, right? To, like, you and us and, like, how much he feels for you. And I think Ilya's, on his point, his love language is, like, really, he needs to be shown
yes,
the love and shown the tenderness, and really, like, you need to tell him and spell it out that, like, I love you, you're it for me, you're my person. And so that's why they work out so well, is because Shane is willing to be like, I'm gonna stay all night to, like, show you this, and then also, if you need to hear this, I already have it.
yeah.
And so that's what that moment showed for me, the I love you scene, is that, like, Ilya was willing to hold that all in until he heard how Shane was like, I have a 15-year plan for us. And then Ilya's like, I can't hold this in. I have to, like, say this. And, like, it was so beautiful, so tender, so well thought out from the creator. And then obviously, like, how we can make this true to the book so that we're not straying too far. And, like, I loved that we were able to mesh the two together. It was so beautiful.
It was so beautiful. And that, you guys, is what made our number one spot. But before we go, we do have a couple of honorable mentions. Just a couple. We're going to be quick about it. Nicole, what's your honorable mention? Or would you like me to go first?
Oh my God. I thought we were going to go with you first. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can go first. I can go first because I'm going to be quick about it. I'm going to be super quick about it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm going to be quick.
Go.
So, because I've already expounded upon how I love when Ilya lack of control, he exerts it. It's gone when Shane is around. But what about when Shane, like, loses control a little bit? So my honorable mention is that rooftop scene in episode 1 when we are out in the open in Vegas after Shane has just won Rookie of the Year. He's had a little tete-a-tete with Ilya. They're going back and forth.
Interesting.
And Shane, he walks away from Ilya and turns around and tells him, see you, next season, and holds his hand out. And Ilya said, you know what, too much has gone on between us for me to shake your damn hand, sir.
I guess I'll see you next season.
Pushes Shane up against that wall to kind of parallel the first kiss and kisses him. And because Shane has been drinking, he is out there on the rooftop in public and he kisses Ilya back. And that kiss, first of all, is sexy. They are both going at it. Shane and Ilya are going at it in public on a damn rooftop. And I just love that. I love when two characters lose control. Their sexual attraction is so palpable that they just can't stand not to be around each other and all up in each other's mouths. Okay, Nicole, what's yours? What's your honorable mention?
You said and period poo. I will just say before I mention mine, I will just say that yes, I agree that that kiss is amazing. And
so hot.
I remember watching that and being like, dang, you can just tell how much they wanted each other, how much was unspoken, how much that yes, Shane I don't think was expecting when he came up to that rooftop to see Ilya, but then when he did, his emotions and feelings were overwhelmed because why else would he have asked Ilya twice, like, well, I guess I'll see you next season with this man out, and it's like, babe, you're wanting something, and trust me, you're like 18, 19, I get it. And then I get Ilya coming up and 18, 19 years old and being like, well, okay, you're offering this, so this is what we're doing, and decides to kiss him in that way. And so I think that was like a really good first moment. So I agree. Okay, so for mine, because I'm at like
what's yours?
This one was hard because I had two I was going back and forth on. Oh God. Okay.
Oh, I'm excited. Which one what are we going with?
Because I don't want people to come for our necks, but
we can handle
it. Okay. So the one that I'm gonna go for. Okay. I'm going head, or I'm going heart over
head. Heart over head. Always. Yes.
I'm going heart over head. Heart over head. And I'm gonna, and once I tell you what it is, then I'll tell you what I was going between. Okay. Heart over head. I'm gonna go for give me kiss scene.
How's the water?
You're in it.
Yeah, but I want to know how you like it.
Fuck you. What if my phone was in my pocket?
Hey, it's not. You left it on the table. It's been ringing all morning.
Still an asshole.
Give me a kiss.
You're cold.
You knew I was going to do that. You knew I was going to do that.
But tell the people why, though. Come on, tell the people why.
Here's the thing. Because I'm going to get teary. Because here's the thing. Ilya spent his entire life having to compartmentalize, having to be an adult and be serious, and maybe not be the true Ilya form of who he is. Yeah. And I think what the cottage allowed Shane and Ilya, but mostly Ilya, to be is his true self outside of the expectations of what Russia or hockey or the world wanted him to be. And I don't know, outside of his mother's passing, if he had ever been able to be his true kind of like childlike self. And so when you see him in the cottage and he's playfully kissing Shane and he's giving him a blowjob and they're playing video games and he's joking about Canada, and you see him on his phone with Shane, and you see him in the water with Shane, and it's just like, these are all playful, youthful, kind of like young versions of what Ilya could have been if he were given the space to be that. And Shane has been able to give him the space and the home to be comfortably who he is. And I think that's why the Give Me Kiss has always rang so, I don't know, just has always been so like, I don't know, tender to me. Is that before the Give Me Kiss, he's doing handstands in the water, he's splashing Shane,
peacocking for that man.
Yeah, he's just like playing around in a way that's like he has never been given permission to do. And so Shane, even if he doesn't verbally say it, gives him permission to be the Ilya that he deserves to be. And I just love the fact that in that little moment where Shane's like, oh my God, my phone could have been in my pocket and like you splashed me. And then Ilya, being Ilya, is like, I see you on a level that you don't even see yourself. Your phone's in the kitchen. It's been ringing for hours. Like, you're good. And then, like, he kisses his foot because he worships Shane.
Yes.
And then he asks, hey, give me a kiss. And then, you know, Shane trying to act like he like doesn't want to do it, and he's like, your hands are cold.
Girl,
and then he kisses him, and I'm just like, this is perfection. Like, this is everything Ilya deserves,
so
and I
good.
just love this for him.
It's so good because you know what? First of all, Shane didn't want to be out there. Shane was a good boyfriend, and he says, you know what?
He did.
I'm going to sit on this rock and watch you swim around like a little fish and be happy as a clam. But I loved that kiss, and I love just because this is the comfortable part of a relationship. When you're with someone and you get to be silly and you get to like have these little inside moments, you get to like, you know, say, give me kiss because you just want to connect with that person. You just want to touch them. You can't stop touching them. And this is the first time either one of them have been in real relationships where you can shed all of the other stuff that comes with dating someone or comes with hooking up someone. You're hiding parts of yourself, and you can truly bury yourself in that moment, which is a good part of any relationship when you are completely comfortable with someone and can be who you are. And that's what I love about Give Me Kiss. I'm like, it's such a relationship thing. You know, they can't, especially Ilya, can't wait to be holding hands somewhere. Which, like, spoiler, you know, they don't really get until the end of a long game. So, like, actually even date and, you know, go out and be themselves and be who they are in this relationship. But yeah, that's what I love about it. It is relationship moment. It is that comfortable place that we're all in. Yeah, it's so cute.
And just like the thing that I love about it is just sorry. No, I know I'm not gonna get emotional.
I'm like, oh Lord, I have a cry counter. Girl,
no,
cry counter number 2.
I'm not gonna cry. But the thing that no, stop it. The thing I'm gonna love about really do love about it is that Ilya has not been given permission to be that. And like Shane, even outside of this moment, but in the long game, is just like, he just gives him a space to explore who Ilya, like he gives Ilya a space to explore who Ilya is outside of these norms that Ilya has had to fit into. And without even like saying that, you know, like even like in the episode 6 in the cottage, it's like we don't get Shane saying that to Ilya or Ilya saying I need that, but it's just like, okay, Shane immediately when both of their feet walk into the cottage, right, it's like Ilya comments about how much he knows about the cottage because he does. And Shane is like, let me try to make him comfortable. I have your snacks. I have your Coke. If you want to drink the water, this is what we do in Canada. Like, you know, like no one's going to see us.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, he spends the next like 36 to 48 hours making sure that Ilya feels comfortable and safe. And, like, you can be who you are, and I want us to feel that way around each other. And the thing about Shane that goes understated for me is, like, people don't give him enough credit for being that solid footing and ground for Ilya in a way that, like, they expect him to be perfect, and they expect him to, like, always be, I guess, just, like, understanding what Ilya's needs are or what they aren't, and like that's not realistic. And like no, Ilya at the end of the day doesn't expect that from Shane, at least like
right
near the end of
he already thinks Shane is perfect. Like there's nothing more he can expect from him. But I do love, to your point, how quickly they fell into that role, right, of like being comfortable with each other. It was like as soon as we got into the cottage and Ilya said those words, I'm coming to the cottage, there was a switch, right, that happened. And we can tap into these romantic sides of ourselves that we never got a chance to tap into. Both of them.
Yeah.
Which I love, because I'm like, this happened relatively fast that you guys were very comfortable enough to like have these like inside jokes and you're bantering with each other. And you know, when you're really in a relationship, that's when the sex is different. It's not just about passion. Like, we're having sex and laughing together. It's fun. It's all of these other things, which is signified like the blowjob that he does when he's on the phone with Peyton. It's like, this is the fun part of the relationship, the silly part of it. Like, we still have the passion and all that other stuff, but there's more here. There's foundation here. And that's why that moment in that kiss is so special. We did it.
Wow.
That's it.
We counted down, or at least our favorite kisses of Shane and Ilya. And let's just be honest, I really hope that we get to do this again when season 2 happens, because Long Game has some really good intimate scenes with them.
Long Game, Rachel, Miss Reed, you were in your bag, man. I don't know what you were listening to. I don't know what was going on in your life.
Babe.
But, you had a sexy girl summer before you started writing that book.
I want you to know, the Long Game, I listen to a lot when I'm at my lowest, or just like not in a good place, or like I'm at the gym or whatever. Like, I love the Long Game. And also kudos to the voice actor who did Long Game, because I think they did a really good job.
Yeah, they did. They did.
I love
it.
Really
I love
listening to it. So
I love it. And when you guys finally can contract Connor and Hudson to do it, we'd love to have that.
I'm thinking that's gonna happen. Right.
We would love to have that, guys. Please, somebody make it happen.
But until then,
guys,
episode 4
of Top 5, another one in the books. Nicole,
well, we did it. I love it.
It's been fun. And until the next time, you guys.
Comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Comment, like, subscribe.
Yeah.
Do all of the things. Do all of the YouTube-y things, you guys. And until the next time, we'll see you guys in the next one.